Okay, saying bye-bye to the best deal in a Mark VI in the world right now. I see them up there now for $20,000, $40,000 and just crazy stuff. So anyhow, this is just a crazy, crazy deal. You see it's really, really straight. You know, usually the bells are smashed, the bottom's all been smashed, dents on the side, neck pulled down, and this has got none of that. All you can see is, you can barely see it, somebody, which is actually me. There was a big, huge Band-Aid patch over this microphone hole. It was a big thing to put the RB pickups on back in the 70s when, what's his name, Miles was doing electric, and Eddie Harris was doing it on the tenor. If you check him out, he does this great tune with the electric sax. But again, you can barely see it. It was a piece of rod, instead of a big tire patch, it was a piece of rod going here, tapered to the bore of the inside, soldered in and then flushed over and touched up with a little gold lacquer. So hardly even noticeable. Anyhow, so engraving, you can still see the engraving on it, which is pretty rare on the re-lacquer. Not exactly sharp, but if you really, really want to get technical, you can take to a lot of these guys and they'll trace over the original engraving and make it look really cool. I've got a guy up in the Bay Area that does it for me. I think it runs about $300, $350 if you're really wanting the engraving nice and sharp again, but you can still see the engraving. And the biggest thing with re-lacquers, you look down them, they're all ripply and they look like the horn's been run over and then covered up with a re-lacquer. And this one is really, really straight. Possibly a one-owner horn before me. I bought it from the son of a guy who was just, in the hospital on his last leg and selling off. You can see the pads are in just great shape. He had it all overhauled, and according to them, it was done at the Selmer factory. But again, no way to prove it. But again, you can see the pads are in just great shape. So they're, if it's done well, it's really not detrimental to the horn. But if it's done poorly, you can actually destroy one. So the good news, it still has that great, great Selmer sound. Hasn't heard it a bit. So it was one of those things where I left it on my page too much, and all the prices have gone up 10–20%, and I really had a price too cheap. But anyhow, it's a fair deal for everybody, I guess. Can't change it now. Pretty much committed to it. But about almost half the saxophones I get in, the necks have been obliterated. They've been bent down, and again, this one just had the hole, but nice and round. You get them where they're all pooched out on the side, so the neck is just a really nice original angle on it, which is nice. And just plays great. We're just going to do a quick little tune here, and just for something to do, and then get it boxed up and ready to go to its new home. Okay, here we end. played in a while, so it's nice to get a nice horn out and give it a little blow, get it all warmed up before it's all corked off and ready to go for its new home. So just I put the leak light down, everything's closing real nice, pads look great, horn looks great. Everybody has this big poo-poo on the lacquer, and again, if it's done correctly, it's almost advantageous. It keeps the horn from just literally rotting away. And a lot of times you're playing in a gig and the director says, you can't play with that ugly looking bare brass thing. And a friend of a friend played with Lawrence Welk, and he wouldn't let him on stage with his stinky old looking Mark VI, so he either had to buy a new horn or have it relacquered. So not sure which way he went, but anyhow, it's just a real looker. All right. Well, trying to get it in before the power goes out. Big storm down here on the West Coast, our first in a long time, so try to get it before we lose our juice. All right, there she goes. There she goes. Got a real nice original Selmer style case. Not Selmer style, but it actually has Selmer case with it in just beautiful, beautiful shape. So there she is. All right. Hasta Luigi.